1980s, the Soviet Union. There was funeral music playing in the courtyard. I ran to the entryway, threw on my jacket, and went out on the balcony. There was a Gaz 53 truck with the sides of its bed open, parked by the building's entry. The bed of the truck was covered with an old red rug. A closed grey coffin was sitting on the rug. Two Christmas trees were attached to it. I realized that they were burying Sanya Manonok from the 5th floor. He'd been killed not long ago in Afghanistan. Several guys from the brass section of the orchestra were standing on the concrete slab. The workmen just left it there after the heating main pipe repairs, playing their instruments. Lots of people from our building and neighboring buildings were crowded around, old and young alike. They were always sticking their noses into everything. Marinok's mama was wailing, trying to climb on the truck. Some lady was helping her. His mama got down on her knees, draped herself over the coffin and kept wailing. I bent down and gathered some dirty snow from the balcony floor. This was the second day of the thaw. I formed a snowball and threw it up so it would hit the 4th floor balcony. It didn't work. The snowball fell to the ground. Manonok used to go to school number 28. He was a short guy with black hair. He rode an old fold-up bike with a blue frame all the way up until 10th grade. Sometimes I saw him leave school with Ludka from the building's 4th entry. They were probably in the same class. One time they were sitting on the bench below our entry, and she opened her bag and took out a magazine. They sat there and flipped through it. Then he said something to her, and she punched him in the stomach. Not hard, just as a joke. Then again and again. He didn't defend himself, just sat there and giggled. Then Ludka got up and left. 15 minutes of the class had gone by, and the zoology teacher still wasn't there. I went over to Koya. Maybe we should go for a walk? What do you think? Or we could go to my house? That's too much trouble, he said, and asked me to study for geography. The teachers hadn't called on me in a long time. Yeah, well, to hell with studying for geography. You can just say whatever when it calls on you. No, I'd better study. Suit yourself, I said. Can you take my briefcase if I don't come back by the bell? Okay? All right, he said. The biology classroom was on the 1st floor, across from the stairs to the buffet and the dining hall. Further down the hall, there were the doors to the secretary's office, the pioneer leader's office, and the principal's office. But opposite was the cloakroom and the exit. A custodian in a shabby dress was washing the floor, pushing a mop with a wet rag on it across the tiles. There was garbage floating in the water bucket. I went outside. Kuzminok was standing on the porch. He pretty much never went to zoology. Got any cigarettes? He asked. None, I said. Let's go to the gym. Maybe there is not a class in there. We can get a ball and play. Okay, I said. Let's go. Kuzminok pulled on the door of the gym. It was locked. He bent over and looked in the keyhole. Fucking looks like nobody in there. Maybe they went skiing, I suggested. But why would they lock the gym? I shrugged. A noise came from the women's locker room. Kuzminok opened the door and looked in. Voronkova and Shaturo from 8th B were sitting on the bench. The locker room was narrow, and they had their feet up on the wall. Their dresses were riding up, but I couldn't see their underwear, just their thighs and their black tights. They both quickly put their legs down to the floor. Well, come on in since you are in here anyway, said Shaturo. They both laughed. Kuzminok went in. Do you need a special invitation or something? Shaturo asked me. Or are you too shy to come in the women's locker room? Don't be shy. There is nothing to see there. Just a bunch of book bags. Voronkova laughed. Nobody dressed out when they went skiing. I went in. The door, said Shaturo. I closed the door and sat on the bench next to Kuzminok. Why didn't you go skiing? He asked. We couldn't go, answered Shaturo. Why couldn't you go? I asked. They both laughed. You guys are still kids. Voronkova laughed again. When we grew up, when you grow up, you'll understand. Hey, you shouldn't fuck with me, said Kuzmanek. I might not take it very well. He raised his fist at Shaturo in jest. I might not take it very well either, Shaturo should have fisted in Kuzmanek's face. Who do you have for physics? The principal or Minin? Asked Voronkova. Minin, answered Kuzmanek. He's a worthless piece of shit. We have him too, said Voronkova. Did you know he got a divorce and married Pavlovskaya, the math teacher? You didn't know? Yeah, well, you've always been pretty dense. The whole school is talking about it. His wife came in and got in a fight with Pavlovskaya. They were pulling each other's hair and everything. You saw them? Asked Kuzmanek. I didn't see them, but people told me about it. It happened right in the middle of class. Class 5B was there for it. That's my little sister's class. Seriously, she just ran in the room and started the fight. Wow, said Kuzmanek. Then what happened? Nothing. They pulled each other's hair for a while and then let each other go. And then she went and complained to the district. Minin should be kicked of the party. What about work, too? Asked Kuzmanek. He's such a faggot. Fuck him. They should kick him out of the school, too. He's such a fucking pain in the ass. Anyway, do you have any smokes? What are you gonna give us if we do? Asked Voronkova. What do you want? Well, there's a lot of stuff we want. You tell us exactly what you have to offer. How about a shortbread from the buffet? Don't you mean 2 shortbreads? One for each of us? Voronkova pouted. All right, it's a deal. 2 shortbreads for 7 kopecks each. What kind of cigarettes do you have? Cosmos. You didn't really think we'd have the shitty ones, did you? All right, let's go outside, said Kuzmanek. Kuzmanek turned and exhaled, then asked the girls, aren't you cold? I could give you my jacket. That's all right, I'll manage, said Voronkova. Otherwise, you'd catch a cold or something, and it would be all my fault. Kuzmanek gave me his cigarette to hold, undid his jacket, took it off, and gave it to Voronkova. I took mine off and gave it to Shaturo. What gentleman we have here? I had no idea, she said. An ambulance went down Gorky Street. An old woman in a kilted jacket was leaving the bus stop with her net bag. There was a red and blue carton of milk and a round loaf of black bread in the bag.